So we got some really interesting news yesterday, and as you could tell by the headline, you might not have heard about it because no one's talking about it because this is the one thing the mainstream media and prominent people are just not allowed to talk about. I don't even know how far this video will get pushed out because of this topic. So make sure you're liking it, commenting it, subscribing to my channel because this stuff I've especially noticed on TikTok lately is heavily censored. So this says Israel is paying influencers $7,000 per post. I just want to start by saying I am a conservative. I don't support Israel. I know that usually they go hand in hand. I cannot stand any kind of influencer getting paid to promote certain views. Like if you have like a YouTube ad and it's for like a protein powder or something, then whatever, that's not going to affect your views. When you're getting paid by the DNC or the RNC or a country like this to promote whatever they want you to promote, I will never listen to you or trust you again once I find that out. Well, at least when it comes to stuff like this, because I know you are getting paid to say this. This is not your actual views. And I think it's just disgusting. This happened, like people like Harry Sisson get paid by the DNC. It's been proven that there's Twitter accounts on Twitter that are lean Republican that have been paid by people to post posts on X. Like there was a big one where they were all saying it was government overreach for soda to be taken off food stamps, and they were attacking RFK, and it found out that all these conservative accounts were being paid by some kind of soda company to say this stuff. It's disgusting. Stick to your own views. Don't sell yourself out for money. So let's just dive right into this. So in a meeting dedicated to harnessing pro-Israel media energy on Friday, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu alluded to a cohort of Israel's influencers. We have to fight back. How do we fight back? Our influencers. I think you should also talk to them if you have a chance. That community, they are important. I have a video showing him talking to influencers in a second. Being paid by Israel to post to social media is very lucrative. According to previously unreported recent documents, these influencers are likely being paid $7,000 per post on social media, such as TikTok, Instagram, on behalf of Israel. Bridge Partners, a firm working for the Israeli Ministry of Foreign Affairs, sent a series of invoices to its influencer campaign to Havas Media Group, Germany, an international media group working for Israel. The invoices detail a sum of $900,000 starting in June, slated to the end of November for a cohort of 14 to 18 influencers to create content. So this already started 3 months ago, and we're just now finding out about it. The document, which was filed under the FARA's Act, so that's something that people say AIPAC should be a part of, but it's not, notes that the funding is for both payments for influencers and production, but does not provide a breakdown between the two. When taking into account the administration production costs through September 16th and a bunch of other fees, this leaves an estimated sum of $552,000 for the influencers between June and September. Doing the math, that would be about $6,143 per post on the low end, and could make as much as $7,300 per post. These people can make a 1 minute long TikTok and make $7,000. That is absolutely insane to promote Israel propaganda. That's crazy. And what I'm going to show you too is some of these influencers already talk pro-Israel, so it's going to be really hard. It would be really hard unless we knew about this. Bridge Partners founders Yair Levy and Yuri Steinberg, who each own 50% stake in the firm, describes the work as assisting promoting cultural interchange between the United States and Israel. Is that what you're calling it? Yeah. So this is basically the whole article. No one's talking about it, like I said, because, you can't talk negative of Israel. And like I said, I don't even know how far this video is going to be pushed out. Make sure you please share this. So this was a meeting Netanyahu had with a bunch of conservative influencers. You can see the picture here. It might be a little cut off on your screen. Hold on, let me adjust this a little bit. You probably recognize a few of the faces here on this. And it's insane that people sell themselves out like this. Like, it really is. Like, hold on, I'm trying to do it. My bad. I'm trying to adjust this while talking. I can't multitask. Okay, there's the full image. So some of these people you might be able to recognize in the image, like this one Black girl was just trending the other day because she got punched in the face by someone. She's like a pro-life reporter that interviews people on the street, and the person that punched her had all charges dropped. It's insane. Cam Higby here, he's been really going around doing college campus tours and doing like what Charlie Kirk does. He's made a lot of big news. This girl here, the opinionated girl, is pretty big on TikTok. A few of these. This girl, it says this is Emily Austin. I think she's seen with that Xavier dude a lot. There's the opinionated girl. And here's another picture of all of them together. This might be a little clearer. Yeah, so they're all, it's assumed that this was reported on after all these people met with Netanyahu. So you could probably assume these people are in on it, are in on being paid to promote pro-Israel content. There's also other people too, like that black guy with the blonde hair, Xavier. He's really big on it. I think he's a part of it too. There's a bunch of influencers that went out to Israel like a month ago. He was one of them. Emily Saves America, Officer Tatum. So they all might be included on it too. It's pretty disgusting, honestly. Like I said, it's one thing if you have a sponsorship, right? I don't have any problem with people that have a sponsorship. You protein powder or some kind of electrolyte or music, whatever it is, right? And it has nothing to do with your content or nothing to do with your pushing your views anyway. I have no issue with that. But when people are literally paying influencers to spread a message, that's literal propaganda, and it's absolutely disgusting. It's one thing if these people just had these views and then they're talking about Israel, they're pro-Israel. That's fine. You can be pro-Israel if you want. But when you're getting paid to be pro-Israel, that's when no one will ever trust you again. That's when no one should ever listen to you again when it comes to Israel. Like I said, these other people do some, like Cam Higby, I think does good work when he's reporting in Portland. So I think he should get credit for that. That girl, I think her name's Savannah, the black girl, she does good like interviews on the street when it comes to abortion and stuff. She should get credit for that. But this stuff right here, the Israel stuff, never trust any of these people when it comes to it. It's disgusting. So let me play the clip of Netanyahu talking about this. This is with meeting with all the influencers.
Christian influencers, okay? You said, we talked about the woke right, and you said, I call it the woke Reich. That's a brilliant observation. The woke Reich, because these people, they're not any different from the woke left. I mean, they're insane, they're movies. But they're actually meeting on some of the things. And what we have to do is we have to secure that part of the base of our support in the United States. That is being challenged systematically. A lot of this is done with money. Money of NGOs, vast. Money of governments, vaster. Okay? We have to fight back. How do we fight back? Our influencers. I think you should also talk to them if you have a chance. To that community, they're very important. And secondly, we're going to have to use the tools of battle. The weapons change over time. You can't fight today with swords. That doesn't work very well. Okay, and you can't fight with cavalry. That doesn't work very well. And you have these new things, like drones, things like that. I won't get into that. But we have to fight with the weapons that apply to the battlefields in which we're engaged. And the most important ones are social media. And the most important purchase that is going on right now is followers. TikTok. TikTok, number one. And I hope it goes through because it can be consequential. And the other one, what's the other one that's most important? X. That's very good. And, so we have to talk to Elon. He's not an enemy. He's a friend. We should talk to him. Now, if we can get those two things, we get a lot. And I could go on other things, but that's not the...
So basically the two apps up until recently that have not really been, well, TikTok's been censored for a whole different reason. They censor conservatives a lot throughout the years, especially when it came to the pandemic and stuff. But this Gaza stuff has not really been censored on TikTok until recently. That's a recent thing. And a lot of people, including myself, think that's why TikTok was set to be banned. Because Trump's argument back in 2020 was the data thing. And then Biden put a hold on his executive order banning it. And then TikTok created data centers in America for American data. So that solved that issue, right? And then October 7th happened, which is a horrible day. I'm not saying I support anything Hamas does. I just don't support Israel. So that was a horrible day. And then I feel like ever since then, it was shortly after that, it was what, 3 months later, Biden signed the TikTok ban 4 months later. And that's because all the stuff after that, in between that short period, and even a little before that, it was all Gaza stuff on there, showing stuff that we can't see because you know why? Netanyahu doesn't allow independent reporters into Gaza from other countries. All the reporters that are in Gaza are Palestinian that already are there. And there's been 200 of them just in the last 2 years that have died from airstrikes. 200 of them. And these are people that work for like AP News, Reuters, big companies, die in these airstrikes. And then these companies don't say anything about it because they're scared. They're scared to speak out. This is absolutely insane. And now with TikTok being purchased, and a lot of people are saying it's Larry Ellison, he's Jewish, the censorship's going to be worse. Apparently you can't even comment juice box anymore on TikTok. I've noticed any single time, I've only made probably, because I like to focus more on American politics, but I think this is crazy. I've probably made like 3 or 4 videos of anti-Israel stuff in the past few months, and they've all had extremely low views versus what my normal views are. So it's definitely starting to get more censored. And then the TikTok and X are really the only 2 places you see stuff going on in Gaza that's just absolutely wrong. You know, you can say Hamas is evil, which I agree. Hamas does some messed up things. I also think it's wrong to bomb hospitals. I also think it's wrong to bomb apartment buildings where people lose all their livelihoods for no reason. You know, he's killed what, like 70,000 people just in the last 2 years. And you're telling me where you have the greatest intelligence agency on the planet with the backing of the United States, all the best weapons, you can't track down Hamas? Come on. A lot of weird stuff going on with it. And he's already talked about how he wants to take over the area. So all this stuff is going to start being probably censored soon more on TikTok. I don't know how it is on YouTube. I don't really talk about this stuff much on YouTube. But it's crazy where he's basically saying this is the war right now. We need to gain control of the propaganda instead of changing anything he's doing, because the whole world for the most part is against what he's doing. Like he gave a speech at the UN last week and almost every country representative walked out. Almost so many countries now are recognizing Palestine as a state going against Israel. He's losing his popularity around the world. He's losing his support. So instead of changing and realizing, oh, maybe I should do something a little different, he wants to control the social media algorithms and promote his side and try to say he's doing the good thing. How about this? Why don't you just let reporters into Gaza? If what you're doing is right, why do you need to censor the information? That's the thing. What did people not learn this during the pandemic? Once you start censoring information, you're the losing side. If you feel the need to censor to prove your point, you're on the losing side. Promote everything, and then people can see for themselves what they believe. Let people decide which side's wrong. Because in reality, if they weren't bombing hospitals and that wasn't shown, and Israel plays victim all the time like they normally do, they would have more support. But all this stuff from these independent reporters, the Palestinians that are still alive anyway, still reporting on this stuff, is being shown to the world, and people are seeing it. It's disgusting. And it needs to stop. And I think it's really disgusting that he's getting to the point now where he's like, let's pay American influencers to promote my cause on TikTok and X, instead of like being like, oh, let me change something I'm doing. Like, no, I'm going to pay all these people a significant amount of money. Like, this is not low money. It's a lot of money here to promote what I want. Like, it's insane. $7,000 per post. That's like, I've been posting on TikTok for like a year and a half now. I'm monetized. I have, for a whole month's worth of videos, I've never made close to that in a month. That's insane. Per post. It's just insane that how far this has come. And like I said, with TikTok being bought, it might be censored more. Hopefully Elon doesn't cave into this stuff and start censoring stuff. I don't know what's going on at X. I'm still seeing stuff on X, so that's a good sign. But yeah, I don't like where this is going. Regardless of what you view on Israel and Gaza, I think if you're a foreign country or even like one of the political parties and you're paying influencers to promote your view, I think that's wrong. That's disgusting. I think that's propaganda, regardless of who's doing it. And definitely foreign countries should not be able to do that with American influencers. That's insane. And the fact that it's legal is insane. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about this situation. I think this is still crazy that this is even a thing. Comment down below, like, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to all my other social medias. I'll catch you next time.